It goes to it. Take picture of this. That thing, I want to go up on that animal close station thing to tear it out.
Can you send it?
Meeting to order.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
Call the meeting to order. Ready?
I am.
Call this meeting to order. Thank you. Luke. Luke. No. Luke. Marcus, Luke, could close the door.
Mayor, we had sent the notices 5 o'clock, so we might want to leave it open in case somebody till 5.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Well, I'd say we just take up who's present.
Okay.
And then we can at least get that one done while we wait on the 5, because the notices said 5 o'clock.
Dearman's present.
Dearman's president is.
We did 4:30 for.
They had originally noticed them for 5 o'clock. When we had this many properties, y'all moved it at 4:30, but the notices still said 5. So whoever shows up, we have 2 here. So we will do the 2 that are present now, and then as they trickle in, we can do the rest. 3 present.
No, really.
3 present.
Do we know who's here now, Marcus?
There's 2 here.
And one,
Vine Street and one for Dearman, and I think Vine is, number 2 on the list, so we'll go ahead with that.
we got one on there.
One-on-one.
Community is online,
Okay.
and that's 4th from the end, from the last on the list, so we'll get to that one after these 2.
Let's do it.
We ready?
Yeah, so which one are we in now?
Okay, the first one we're gonna do is Vine Street. The property name is in BS Construction. We had the property owners living at 10312 Sunrise in Moss Point. Of course, this is a derelict house. We sent out letters in December. Took them, we did a court citation for December 29th. We didn't have anybody show up for that. So we're recommending removal of this house and clean up. I do think the property is here for this one. He wants to add something. You all have pictures of this?
Yes, we have pictures. In Ward 4.
Yes. Yes.
We have to look up to make sure I have the ward numbers on each one to actually Alderman have used.
Okay.
I looked at it and went up with the owner about it.
You did?
He's here to speak on it. I went out and looked at it.
I want to speak with the owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's present, he's.
Thank that you will hear me a few minutes. Marshall said that I was supposed to be in court on Sunday. I didn't get that letter. I don't know if anybody else get it, but if I had got it, I would have been here. The letter that I got said to be here on the 16th. And they said to be here at 5 o'clock. It just so happened I decided to come early to politic a little bit. So, but, I do own a house, 3631 Vine Street. And, of course, you know, I've been owning that house for quite a while, but when I got married, moved to my new residence. and the house in need of some repairs, but at the same time, on your paper, you say clean up. And, the yard don't be dirty, nothing be dirty, the house is in need of some roofing repairs and things like that. But I think that was, I don't know what they mean when they say clean, because I have under contract, somebody to cut the yard every 2 weeks.
But demolition and cleanup would be to demolish the structure and clean all the debris up.
Yeah, okay. Well, I would ask this, petition the mayor and the board of all for a little time that I can get that house straightened. Because all y'all know that I'm a contractor and I can't fix it. It's just that,
How much time are you got for?
as much as I could get, because you know I'm under 2 or 3 different projects, but I'm gonna have to drop something to go over that if you give me some time.
How much time?
How much can you,
What's the pleasure? What's
60 days, will that do you?
would you give me 90?
If the board will agree 90, yeah, 90 will be okay, as long as you get a permit and we see,
Months.
get a permit for 6 months, and we'll see that you're doing something over there, then we,
Tomorrow morning to pull permit provisions. And when it's time, I'll get the outside and thing finished and do as I can to the inside. You know I'm able to fix it. Everybody know I'm able to fix it. It's just, you know,
you're a contractor, you know how it go, you know what you got to do,
yes, ma'am.
how you need to pull your permit, because that's work you do.
That's right.
So we'll be looking for you to do that.
Pull the permit tomorrow morning, but it will tell.
I didn't turn it.
Okay, that's what the board's decision is. I would ask the board though to be specific with, the 6 months. If you're gonna give him 6 months, are you gonna give him 6 months to complete this job? Or,
Yes.
because we need to know, so we don't run into an issue where we tear somebody's house down after 6 months.
Right.
So if they follow the inspection process that's outlined, if he gets a permit and he gets his inspections through the process, that wouldn't happen. But we don't want something like that to happen. So be specific on what you want out of the 6 months.
If the board will permit me, by saying that, then, of course, before we could close in the walls and things, then we would have to call for inspection. After putting the roofing thing on there, we redo the wiring and thing, we can call for the inspection. And that way he'll know that it's doing some progress and it'll be some time. But that wouldn't necessarily mean that the whole inside would be finished. Because it's gonna take some time. So as long as we get it back, get the exterior back in good shape, and show some effort of doing the inside, then we can go on I thought a permit lasts a year.
Permits are good for 6 months. We can renew the permit if the board chooses. We can set,
I'm showing some progress.
we can set it up for a board review in 6 months if you want to do that.
Let's do that.
We can do it.
Yeah, let's do a review in 6
We
months.
can give them a permit and then we can bring it back to the board in 6 months. and see.
Bring it back to the board, that's right,
Okay,
that's right, let us see what's being done.
okay, we'll do that.
Question.
Are we saying 6 months for this board to review or 6 months for the planning board?
If you guys, if they come back for y'all in 6 months.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's, Mr. Mayor. All right. Yes, sir. Now, this progress is as determined by Mr. Cattell, planning.
Sir.
Progress, satisfactory progress is based on your recommendation or your interpretation of we made progress.
Absolutely. We'll give you a progress report and then y'all can make the decision if he's.
No, I think what you're asking, Mr. Tapman, will it be in his discretion at the end of the 6 months? And for this one, it's gonna be different than what you've done in the past. At this, it'll be a 6 month review that'll come back to you all to decide to give him more time or tear down.
I'll give you a progress report of what he's done in 6 months, then
You all can decide.
y'all can decide to give him more time.
If I need it, I might not need it, Mr. Mayor, but the fact remains the same. You know, what I'm saying is if you get outside straightened out, and get it fixed, moving on, make the neighborhood look like it's supposed to look, and keep the yard more like it's supposed to look. We want homes on tax road. We don't want to tear down and have a stupid slab there. That's all I'm saying. If you will, if you will, that's what I'm asking of you.
And what action will be taken in the board meeting, this is just the public hearing part. It sounds like the recommendation is going to be, and I don't see an opposition, that they're gonna give you pull a permit immediately, and then we'll have a review in 6 months.
I appreciate it.
And the board meeting is what she's saying is when we'll make that determination
It starts-
of the minutes. So it'll be documented in the minutes. That's what we give. Yes, right. Mhm. Okay.
Or you can come back to 6 if you don't want to do that.
Okay, ready to move it on to the next.
Which one is that? Yeah.
Dearman, property owner for Dearman is here at 3901 Dearman Lane. And she. Okay. Okay, this one, this property is in an estate and they're here representing the estate. The only place we had to send notification was PO box. They've since changed their PO box. That was what the tax roll had as their address. Since changed the PO box, so they did not get notification. It came back to us. They happened to see the notification on the actual house itself. They're here tonight. I've spoken with the owner. What they're wanting to do is they're wanting to demolish it themselves. They agree that it needs to be torn down. They'd like 6 months to do it, and they say that if the board chooses that, if they're not done with it in 6 months, the board is welcome to tear it down. But they feel that they can have it done within 6 months. And the property owner is here.
Mr. Mayor, I vouch for this family. I believe they'll do what they said they're gonna do, and they do have the means to do it, so. It was just a little confusion on the address, I believe, on the notice. Sorry, Tamar, go ahead.
So, my name's Tamara Valley. This is my mom, Linda Attia. She is one of the owners, but she cannot hear well, so I'm speaking for her. So yes, we did not get a notice, and we just happened to see she goes and checks on the property, so she saw the notice on the door. But it does need, actually, we were selling the property, so we do have some people wanting to buy it, but we have agreed to go in there and, remove the house. So if you'll give us 6 months, because we just found out about this, we'll take care of that. But if we don't, then the city can come in, they said they had a bid, and they can do it. So that's what we're just requesting time.
So the recommendation would be that to allow you 6 months to demolish and clean up, remove all the debris, property. 6 months, if that has not happened, then the city would move forward with no further notice to you.
That's correct.
Right. Yes, we'll put that on the minutes.
Okay.
Talking about it at our 6 o'clock meeting.
Yes, sir.
Deal with that then. Thank you all for coming in.
There was a community street.
Hello, I'm here for Community Street. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I hired TriStar. I believe they're there in person.
Not-
Or not?
He's not? Okay, well then, good thing I jumped on still. Yes, I spoke with TriStar. They're going to demolish the house, but I would need a little bit of time. I was wondering if I could get a cushion of 6 months because we plan to demolish it and then also rebuild. So we want to make sure that we have the proper permits and things in place. I just recently found out about it too, so that's why I'm working with TriStar right now. If that's okay.
Should be okay with the same recommendation, 6 months, and the city will proceed.
Okay.
Like we riding that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, say it again, Marcus.
The microphone is for that.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, no.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here, but I could hear a little bit. I couldn't hear everything.
Okay, would you be okay with the board allowing you 6 months to demolish it? And if it's not demolished within 6 months, the board can take action at that time with no further notice?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Board's okay with that?
Are you okay with that?
Well, y'all are the board. I'll do it. I'll work for you guys.
We'll talk, we'll take it up at our regular, at our 6 o'clock meeting. And I don't see no issue with that, but we'll take it up at our 6 o'clock meeting.
Okay.
Need to go.
Lord Ford, is that, Alderman Chairman, did you see this property? It's on community.
No, I didn't look at it.
Right.
Yeah, that's Nels on the King.
Here for.
That's after.
Community, yes.
That's after Miller.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need anything more from me for the community street property?
No, we don't need anything now, man. Thank you for being on call. We're
Okay.
gonna take this up at our 6 o'clock meeting,
Okay.
and we're gonna support what you're requesting.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll go back on mute. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, I think the last one on the list, 6624 MLK, they're here. So if y'all want to proceed with that one, go ahead and do that one. This property at 6624 Lard is Alfred Nettles. This is his property. And as you can see from the pictures, this is in very, very bad condition. Something needs to be done with this, and I'll be glad for them to come up and talk with me. That's some suggestions. We recommend removal.
Mr. Nettles, would you like to come up and address the board as to what your intentions are?
I haven't gone up to, I know it's come up.
Okay, no, okay.
Sorry.
Y'all heard that.
It's not up yet. Did you get the email from my code girl today? Okay, she sent you an email today, the two that you gave. We submitted all. We didn't have enough time to get on this list. It's coming February.
Send a block.
Send
Hold on
it.
just a minute, Mr. Nettles.
It's happening.
Hold on, Mr. Nettles.
I'm intending to remodel the house.
Okay.
It's a cinder block house. Take the roof off, put a concrete slab in it. That's my intention.
What's your, you have a timeline on when you plan to start and how long you think it'll take?
If I start, it won't take that long. Well, I have to wait some time, you know, what they're gonna call them. Kind of scared about investing in Moss Point because my sister had a problem with the same. And she did all the things that I had to do, and they tore the house down.
Well, we talking about your property now, Mr.
It's the
Neville.
same. I'm afraid to start investing in it. And y'all have intent to tear it down.
No, if you do what you say you're gonna do, you're not gonna have an issue with us.
No, I'm not gonna spend those $60,000 in the next couple of days.
Well, no, I asked you how much time you think you need.
How much time can you give me?
Mayor, let me ask a question to the building department. Looking at the pictures, appears that it could be a safety hazard. Is that why you were recommending this one happen as soon as possible?
Well, absolutely, to keep people out of it for one thing, and it's a structured there. Other than the walls, there's not really much on that structure that could be saved, so we recommend.
Immediate demolition. So I think this one is a little different than the first two that you've heard from today.
That's what you're saying? Demolition it?
Demolish it, yes, sir. That's what it's on for. Demolition and cleanup.
Why would you do that?
It's a safety and health hazard, the house.
Other than the walls, other than the block walls, there's not much on that structure that's in.
I'm demolishing everything inside.
That's what you're here to talk
Yeah.
more about.
So what you're saying, don't worry about it, you're gonna demolish
I
it.
just said to the board, other than the walls, there's not much on that house that is worth saving.
Oh, no, I'm gonna take good and take everything off the top.
So you need to tell the board what you're gonna do and how much time you need.
That's what we asked you, Mr. Nelson. What you plan to do and how long you think you need to do it?
Well, I went out there yesterday. I have it cleaned up and, it's so soggy and boggy out there, you can't get in there and do nothing right away. So it'll be probably the summer. When in there tearing it out. But I can't stand it. And to send a tractor in there to, do his work, he's not gonna do it. He's gonna bog down, because it's so soft out there. And water is running out from over the property, over the sidewalk onto the street. My whole life. So I can't get in there to do nothing, soon. But it's soggy like it is. I'm scared to say.
Yeah, but what we just asked you to do is give us a plan, so we can work with you. We want to work with you.
See, this is the thing. I have to, I'm talking to, I'm gonna redo the whole interior, a new floor plan. I'm gonna take the top off, gut it, and fill it with red dirt, then get an architect out there to give me a new floor plan. That's my intent.
Yeah.
Then go from there.
So the next thing is, when you start, I know you said soggy, but you have to give us some idea of,
I said this summer, the summer.
Summer?
One time I'm, how the water gonna dry up for me to get in there and do it, I gotta work on it. I gotta tear the top out, put a dumpster out there, do all that work, and you can't even stand on the property. You're sinking down to, over your shoes. It's real soggy.
it's your property.
Pardon?
It's your property.
I'm saying. So you saying I can't do that? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm asking for your plan. And when you're gonna start and how long,
This summer.
this summer?
Yeah, that's what I kept saying, this summer, when it dries out, it's not gonna be dry enough to do anything with until in the summer months. Can't even get in there tomorrow. And every time it rains, it's just that way.
Okay, Mayor, we'll vote on it do you have anything else to add? Any other question? We'll take it up in the board meeting.
What's the number on that one?
Oh, it's 166.
Alderman, anybody got any questions?
Yeah, we've been watching this house for a while. So let me, if I might, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
not gonna take you until this summer to come up with a draft or a plan or to get.
I can,
So if I can finish, if we, or Mr. Ketch, I could get something from you indicating this is what I'm going to do, these are my plans, and you could base your schedule on that, I would assume. But, it's not gonna take till this summer to get a plan.
no. I had cleaned it off about 3 months ago, and it'll grow back up. I had all the trees taken out. All 5 lockers at home. Lot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And, I cleaned it up, burned the permit, I went the trash, the trees up, and, it started raining. So we stuck in limbo.
I've been knowing you forever, so
Pardon?
I've been knowing you forever, so I take your word for it. But when can you get us some idea, some plan to get to the mayor or to Mr. Catchot, so we'll know,
So I gotta get with the architect to look at it, and decide and draw me a floor plan up.
yes, sir.
So
When do you,
the guy that knows the guy, we built the church. We got him to draw the floor plan. That's what I'm looking for now, draw the floor, plan, give me a new.
So, Mr. Chapman, why don't a recommendation be that y'all give him a set time frame to have a plan in place of when it's gonna start, and if the timeline is not received by that date, then we'll move forward with demolition with no further notice.
And we'll address,
This is the thing, I don't like what you're saying. You're gonna demolish the house and then to add it to my tax roll. Next year, when I pay taxes, I gotta pay anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 to my property.
3,500.
Pardon?
3,500.
Well, I'm saying, that's what I got to do. Then, you tear it down, you don't get no tax revenue. I just paid $896 this year for my taxes for the property.
Mr. Nettles, we can avoid all that if you give us a plan
Okay,
on how you
I'm
go.
gonna get you a plan and bring it.
We'll address it at our next meeting as to how much time we're gonna give you to bring us a plan in here. We'll do that at our 6
Where do
o'clock.
I take it to? Where I bring it? To you?
Building department,
Where's the building department?
Jackson County. Jackson County Services Complex, the main building, the house.
Uh-huh.
Have the staff.
So you want a floor plan? On what
Wait.
it's gonna look like?
We want a plan on your construction, when you will start, what you estimate the cost to be, and your ability to pay for what you're doing. That's what we've
Wait a
required.
minute, ability to do what?
To pay for the construction. That's what we've required in the past. Timeline, make sure you've got the funds to do it, so it doesn't sit in an unsafe condition for the next 6 months.
Sweetheart. I own the whole block, all the way down to almost to the railroad track. No one in front of me. And where in danger to who? That's what I want to know, who's in danger? Don't nobody walk those streets out there.
It's wide open to the element. If you look at the pictures, it's wide open to the element. You know, anybody can.
No, those doors are sealed off.
And you know, it's not about paying taxes. It's about cleaning up the city of Moss Point, making it attractive for people to investing. But as long as you've got properties like this, derelict properties in Moss Point, that people aren't gonna do anything with, people aren't gonna invest in Moss Point. So, I mean, that's what it's about. It's about cleaning up the city.
Trying to come in more, Mr. Mayor.
I know.
They've been doing this. This is not my first time here about properties that I own.
And also, if you're gonna give him more time, I would ask the board to have him board the property up, so people can't go inside it and, you know, live in it or, you know, own the street, whatever.
We'll discuss this at our next meeting, Ms. Nettles. Unless you have a final comment, we're gonna move on to the next house.
Now, the action will be taken at our 6 o'clock meeting. A lot of people leave before action is taken, but this is the discussion, this is the hearing, and action will be taken at 6 o'clock.
What did she say?
Yeah, the decision that we will make about your property will be done at our 6 o'clock meeting. So if you need,
Meeting when?
9.
Oh, that's what I was here for. You asked me what property.
This is the discussion, like she just told
Oh,
you, this is
sorry.
the actual minutes hearing. At 6 o'clock, they'll take action. So just hang around for.
Well,
till 6
you
o'clock.
just called me up here to discuss this.
You're supposed to at 5 o'clock. Supposed to at 5 o'clock.
Okay,
At 6 o'clock, they're gonna take.
okay.
Okay, first, we'll go back to the beginning since it's after 5 o'clock now to Dale Lane, first one on the list. Okay, 3521 Dale Lane, we have the owner as Trustmark National Bank. We've had no correspondence with the owners. They did pull an electrical permit on this back in August the 2nd of 2023, but it failed the inspection. They never proceeded any further to get the electrical hooked up to it. We couldn't find anybody on it. Of course, this house is derelict, garage, shed. It's got an RV, a bunch of rubbish on the property. And there again, we also recommend demolition and cleanup of this property also.
Mayor, I saw this one. This is a terrible mess and have action taken.
I don't know if anybody can.
Is anyone here?
Does it need demoing or just cleaning up?
We're requesting everything on the property be removed. The structure, the shed, the RV, and to clean up all the junk that's thrown across the property, put it back to its natural state.
It's in Ward 6. I support that.
This is, Alderman Leonard, this is in your ward?
Yes, sir, and I support
Have you seen,
recommendation.
have you seen, huh?
I do support the recommendation. I've seen this property.
Okay. Eddie, man, ask if anybody's here.
Yes, is anyone here from, I didn't see a name on this.
521 Dale Lane.
Other than Dale Lane, is there anyone here that's on this property or represent this property?
3521 Dell Lane.
Okay, next one.
Next property is 3916 Liverpool. And this is also in an estate, Mary Lou Yates. We did receive a call from Etha Daltrey, and she came into the office and she did pull her own demo permit. And we explained to her at that time that we were gonna go ahead and proceed with our minutes process. And the board could make a decision. Of course, her permit is good for 6 months. She pulled it 3rd of this month. So we told her we were gonna go ahead and proceed with the board to have it demolished if she don't do it within 6 months. So she understood that. Don't know if anybody's here today or not, but of course, we do recommend the demolition of this. She did pull her own demo permit.
Barbara left the message that she called.
Okay. So you said she's gonna be late. You want to take this one up last if we have time, or?
Well, yeah, we'll actually, if she still have that same plan in place.
She did pull a permit,
When again, Marcus, when did she pull a permit?
3rd of this month.
Is this 39?
This, we talked to her and we had her pull a permit on the 3rd. We told her we were going through this process. And we told her that we weren't gonna stop the process, but we were gonna tell the board that she did pull a demo permit. So that permit is good for 6 months. Now, if the board wants to take action and say, after 6 months, the same, give us the progress report. If she hasn't done anything, we'll move forward. However, the board wants to handle that.
Is this 3916 or 3920?
That was 3960.
Yeah, that's, something's gotta be, whether she does it or we do it.
Yeah, I think it's beyond repair. It needs to be demolished.
Sounds like she agrees it needs to be demolished.
And not only that, these two houses that are side by side, we've got another one here at 3920 Liverpool. These are drug houses. I don't know if you're aware of that area or not. I mean, that's what they are. They're drug houses. So whether or not somebody's gonna fix them or not, something's gotta be done. Immediately with them, because that's a bad element. The next one here is 3920 Liverpool. We have the property owner as a David Thompson. The address we had for him was Westville, Florida. That's where the taxes go to, so that's where that would be. Of course, this house, we feel that it's in derelict condition also. So we recommend removal of this house and property cleanup. This one also.
Is anyone here from 3920 Liverpool Want to address the board? Okay.
Next one we have is 4136 Triumph. 4136 Triumph, we have the property owners as a Keisha Mosley and a Cheryl Williams. We have their address as 4800 Long Avenue, apartment, building F, on 42 in Pascagoula. This is also a derelict house. We recommend demolished and have the property cleaned up. And this one also, the taxes have not been paid on this, that they were sold to, actually, they wasn't picked up by anybody, so they were sold to the state of Mississippi. They paid the taxes.
This is what
No fee.
I looked at it.
Ma'am?
I looked at that piece of property and it's in Ward 4. And so I did look at it and it is. It's a bad shape. It's been like that for a while.
Anybody's here for that one?
Let me just ask, is there anyone here from 4136 Triumph? Would like to address the board? Okay.
Next one we have on the list is 4418 Creole Avenue. Property we have as the owner is the Timothy Turner. We had a PO box, Pascagoula, where we sent the notices. Of course, this is a derelict house. And this one and one next door also, kind of a lot of drug activity right there. So, and that's one of the main corridors to the paper mill property. So I think we need to have that area cleaned up, especially if we're going to get somebody to possibly utilize the old paper mill property. They don't want to drive through that area to get that property. So we recommend demolition of this property cleaned up.
Is anyone here from 4418 Creole Avenue that want to address the board?
Next one we have is 4424 Creole Avenue. We have the property owner as a Pure Legacy LLC. We had their property owners resided as at 9308 Guywood here in Moss Point. We sent a notice to that property. They did call in. We let them know that the property needed to be demolished and cleaned up. And if she wanted to do herself, she needed to come to the board Alderman meeting tonight and ask them if she could demo it herself. We gave her names and numbers of demo companies. And I don't know if she's here tonight or not, but we recommend demolition and cleanup of this property also.
Is anyone here from 4424 Creole Avenue? Yes, come on up. Thank you for coming in. Tell us what your plans are.
Our plan is to demo the property. Right now, I'm still getting quotes in from different contractors before I proceed. But if you could, please grant me a little more time to get the job done.
Okay, how much time you think you need?
6 months to a year. This is the first notice I've received on the property. It's had that property that long. And, you know, when I did get the property, I did put a roof on. Initially, I was going to fix it up to make it into a rental property. But, you know, I walked the premises and it's just in such bad condition, you know, and I just think it's best to go ahead and demo the property.
Okay. She need to pull a permit to get.
Yes, sir.
What you need to do is go down to county complex and get a permit. that would get that process started to allow you to demo it yourself. So if you go through that process, yes, we'll address this,
There are 2 quotes already, but, you know, I haven't decided yet. I'm still getting quotes back.
And just so you're aware, Mayor, the lowest quote we got was 3,500.
What company was that?
J.E. Talley Construction. So if it turns out we may be getting a better price in bulk, if it's something that you want the city to do, and then you can just pay the city back, that's an option too.
I get a copy of our quotes.
You can see Marcus when you go get your demo permit.
Okay.
They're not sure to get it to you.
you know where it is, you know where his office is.
Are you located at?
Tax in Pascagoula. That building, big white building, planning department, all listed. Marcus.
So are you gonna stay for the 6 o'clock meeting? Because we'll be taking action there. Okay.
I would also recommend on this one to, let us bring it to you for a review in 6 months. That way, if it's not done, then we could go ahead and proceed with the cities.
Yeah.
Do you want a review or do you want it to be automatic if it's not done?
Whatever the board chooses.
But, yes,
Well,
listed under Pure Legacy LLC. Who are you now?
Raven. I'm Raven.
Raven,
Lofton.
Raven Lofton? Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
This is, Alderman Cunningham's ward, so he may want to choose what, if he wants to do it automatically or.
I've had more reports from this piece of property. It needs to have been already gone. No more than 6 months. I vote for.
Board recommends that if she doesn't have it done in 6 months, that we will automatically do it at the.
And just so you know as well, the process, if the city did go ahead and leave it on the demolition list, the city would pay 3,500. We would file it as a tax lien on the property, so it would come out on your tax bill, just like when you get your real estate taxes each year. If you pay it off before your tax bill comes, it wouldn't go this year because these tax bills are already done. It would be next year. If you pay it off before then, it kind of gives you a year to pay for it, have it paid for. So sometimes that's not a bad option. That way it gets cleaned up immediately and it gives you a little longer to pay for it.
Okay.
It's not a bad option. No. And our 3 quotes we got were 3,500, 4,900, and 14,000.
I'm sure there's. If they go for it.
Thank you. Okay, the next property that we have is, it has 2 addresses. It's 4439 Mill Avenue and then 6714 Gregory Street. It looks like at one time, the house back may have had a Mill Street address, and that's your ward, and Alderman Cunningham, you probably know more about that than I do. But there's 2 structures on this property. Both of them are in terrible condition. The property owner is James Upton, and the only address that we had for him to send a notice was 44 Mill Street. We've had no correspondence with the owner, and we polished and property cleanup of both of these addresses. That makes sense. It's two houses on one parcel. Why they have 2 separate addresses.
And they both need to go.
Alderman Cunningham, you know that,
Yes, sir, very.
these people?
I don't know the people, but I know the situation.
Okay.
I don't know if
Anything wrong with that?
I'm recommending, yes, sir, go along with his recommendation.
I don't know if there's anybody here for that one, Mayor.
Is anyone here from 4449 Mills Avenue or 6714 Gregory?
And the next one we have on the list is 4801 Larimore Street. We had the property owner as a Benny Lewis Jr., and we had his address at 3825 Matson Street. We did send a notice to that location. We had no correspondence with him. As you can see from the pictures of this one, this is a burnt house. It's really an easy decision on this one. We do recommend approval and cleanup of this property. And this property is also located in a special flood hazard area. So, you know, obviously it's more than 50% damage to this home. So if they were to repair it anyway, it would have to be elevated. So it's pretty easy decision. I don't know if anybody here is here for this one also, man, for 4801 Larimore.
Is anyone here from 4801 Lattimore to address the board?
Billy. And the last one we have tonight is 5424 Billy Avenue. We had the property owner as Octavius Johnson, and the only address we had for him on the tax roll was 5424 Billy Avenue. We had no correspondence with him. This is also a burnt house. We do recommend demolition and cleanup of this property. Not sure if anybody is here for this one or not.
Yes.
Okay. Come up with this board.
I'm Afton Wallen. This is my brother, Alvin Wallen. We're speaking on behalf of Octavius Johnson. Like he said, the only letters that come to the house with at the actual 5424 Billy Avenue, Octavius is currently incarcerated, so that's why he hadn't been able to respond to any of the letters. But we're here to try to take ownership of the property. It's our grandmother's property, so we wanted to try to take ownership of it. We've contacted Octavius. Also, we've been down to see about the taxes. So we are currently asking for 6 months to a year for the demolition or to try to get it in safe standing.
You said you all would like to remodel it, or you said demolition and remodel, which one you?
Well,
first,
yeah.
and then probably about at least a year from now, we'll be talking about putting up another rental property or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's burnt more than 50% of the house. So we, we're considering the demolition of it. And then later on, my brother and I were gonna put another.
So you all want to demo it yourself? Is that what you're suggesting?
That's what we prefer. That's what we would prefer. The thing is, we just haven't went about trying to find people
To do the demo.
or appraise anything, because we are basically just finding out about the situation.
For that information with you, it would.
Yes, who's the record owner of the property?
It's Octavius Johnson, and I am his power of attorney,
What's your name?
Afton Wallen.
Okay, I just noticed the property taxes on this home has been sold since 2015. Every year, since 2015 to different individuals, so a lot of back taxes that are owed.
So my aunt Delia Williams, which is Octavius' mom, she passed away in 2018, and the house was willed to Octavius.
But if the taxes haven't been paid in that many years,
It looks like Delia paid them back in 2015, 2016, but 17 on up. Other big, paid them.
Yeah, George Zinneman, which is, yeah, that's my uncle. He's paid them up for 2018, 19. The only taxes that we have that were back were 2021, total 1,557, 2022, and 2023.
Right.
My brother and I are making arrangements to pay the 2021 and 2022 taxes. We also have Ms. Katie Wilcox, who was coming out to appraise the property, see how much the land or whatever was worth, but we were trying to take ownership and get it cleaned up.
So the quotes, just so you know, for demolition, the lowest bid was 3,500. The next bid was 6,500, and the next bid was 15,000.
Do you have the names of the people where we can
Didn't want it.
contact them?
JD Talley was the 3,500. We have another demolition company here that you can get a quote from before you leave as well.
Okay.
And I don't know if you were here when I spoke to the other lady, but what would happen is it would go on the tax roll. It's not gonna go on this year's because they're already printed, so we can't put it on the tax rolls until we pay, it's been demolished. But it would give you a year to get it paid and get the property cleaned up for the city in the meantime. If that's, for 3,500,
Okay,
that's an option.
you're interested.
Now, that's in my ward, and actually I know Thalia Williams, I'm familiar with the family, and I know this is an unfortunate situation that happened. Again, what we'd like to do is clean it up. The house across the street, a veteran, same process happened to him, and unfortunately, I cringed when he had to tear his house down.
I don't understand.
And what we really wanted to do is find methods in which we could restore this house. But at this point, the recommendation is that it's beyond gone. What we're dealing with, I guess, is the safety hazard of it. It seems to be kept up as far as the lawn and everything else around it. But of course, it is an eyesore for the community, and if kids come over there and play, possibility of getting hurt. I guess what we would have to do is just, what you're suggesting is that you want a demolition it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Well, we want to take whatever option with the courts and whatever they have available, like the 3,500 or whatever, and get that demolished, yes, and it can go on the back taxes or the taxes coming up. And
So you would like the city to go ahead and proceed with it and put it on the tax roll?
yes,
Okay.
And you don't have to do anything. The board can just approve the demolition tonight.
You don't have to do anything else.
can we get like notification in our address, because like we go by there, but we don't see any letters, we don't have anything.
You have to deal with the tax assessor's office.
But by Octavius being the said owner of the property, what interest would they have even?
She said she's his power of attorney. We would need a copy of the,
Okay,
it doesn't, for this, we don't need it, but the tax people would need it. So you would get notices
okay,
sent to you.
We have to send notices to everybody that has interest in the property. So even people that pay the taxes on it, we have to.
okay. Well, George was at the address as well. He lived there before it was burned.
So we can only get by what's at the tax roll if you're addressing the tax rolls.
Okay.
And they'll tell you what you need down there.
So, so I understand, and not getting in your business, I just want to understand, doing it this way actually is beneficial to the owner because it gives you more time to pay the 3,500. Is that? Gives you a year.
But she's got some back, years of back taxes.
Well, the original owner, Thalia, was disabled, and I don't know if she was even paying taxes or
She was
paid taxes.
paying taxes.
By her being exempted, any of that accumulation of taxes would have been applicable to their reading.
You would have had to file for the exemption. I don't think she did.
That's not percentage, that's not 100%
Yes.
percentage.
Okay. Y'all agree?
Yes, we agreed to the demolition and, whatever we can do to get it cleaned up and. Mhm.
So Mayor, since that's it, correct?
Y'all need to give her a correct address. I guess y'all would have to go for them to get a correct address.
Mayor, can I repeat to the board what the recommendation will be on each, so when we get in the board meeting, y'all?
Yes.
So for my notes, y'all correct me if I missed anything. The first property was 3631 Vine Street. You're gonna set that for 6 months. That property will actually come back to the board in 6 months. That was the gentleman that was the contractor that said he would pull a permit immediately.
Correct.
Okay, 3901 Dearman Lane. The property owners will demolish, they're gonna pull a permit and clean all the debris within 6 months. If it's not done within that time frame, the city will claim no further action to the
Agreed.
4525, same thing, 6 months to clean property, remove all of the debris. Not done in 6 months, it will be automatically demolished, back to the board for action. 6624. 6624 MLK, he has 30 days to provide a plan of action, which will include a timeline for his construction, the cost of the construction, and proof of how he's able to pay for the construction. Must board the property up within those 30 days. So 30 days to board it up, 30 days to get a timeline to the board. If that's not done within 30 days, then demolition will be automatic with no further action from the board.
30 days?
30 days. If he doesn't get the plan within 30 days and board it up within 30 days, is that not what you?
That's what address?
Sorry, 6624 MLK. I don't know. If I said read it wrong, y'all tell me.
That's what they're telling me. That's what the recommendation is.
Is that what the board wanted the recommendation to see on the property? 30 days to have a plan
Exactly.
That's right.
and 30 days to board it up. If not, then we can move forward with demolition.
If we could change that to 60 days.
60 days? Okay, 60 days. So 60 days, he's got to get a plan of action to you, which would include a construction timeline, the cost of the construction, the ability to pay for the actual work, so it doesn't sit, and the property be boarded up. If that doesn't happen in 60 days, we're gonna send the demolition crew out, to clean it up, and no more action coming to the board. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, 3521 Dell Lane. I just have to remove everything on the property, demolish the home.
Yes.
Sure, okay, so that would be after the 30 days is up for the appeal time.
Correct.
And we'll do forward.
Straight.
So this would be to Denver. 3916 Liverpool, they requested, or they said that they did pull a permit on 1324. They'll have 6 months to demolish, and if not done, then no further action will be taken. It will be demolished. What? I guess, sorry.
3916 Liverpool.
Yes, okay. So
We've already got the metal on the roof and we've got our, demo permits. We've got to something to get that going. We've already pretty well.
Okay, so you'll have 6 months from January the 3rd to have it completed. If it's not completed, the city will go in to do it, but it sounds like you're well enough. Okay. 3920 Liverpool, recommended for immediate demolition.
Yes.
4136 Triumph Street, immediate demolition. 4418, immediate demolition. 4424, she's gonna pull the demo permit. Got 6 months. If it's not done, then automatically demoed with no further public notice being provided and no action from the board. She's gonna get with quotes from Marcus and may decide to go forward with the city cleanup, but she's gonna get with Marcus and let Marcus know. 4449 Neil and 6714 Gregory, immediate demolition. 4801 Larimore Street, immediate demolition. 5424 Billy Avenue, the city's gonna go forward with immediate demolition. Are we all on the same page? So that's gonna be the recommended action. That's.
The 3920 Liverpool is next door to our house. I believe there was an elderly gentleman living there with no power, no utilities whatsoever. We were gonna have it starting on the roof, and we saw he has his front door cracked open. So we saw him go in there. We saw the dog, and we didn't see him. I think he's buried.
Okay, so we need to make sure there's nobody in that home before we
That's the drug house.
Oh, shit, okay.
Well, that's not the drug house. The drug house is on the other side of us. We watched them make 10 deals that they would do there last.
There's one of them that people in and out of constantly.
That's the one on the other side. It's not, I don't know who wants to. The old man's in the brick house, small brick house. And the drug house is on the other side.
The drug house, we have a court case. Taking them to court. So,
There's some charges against them also.
Thank you.
yours and the other one are being.
Nevins? You want to make comment?
And then I put red dirt in there, overflow. And put it up. That's making secure.
You need to bring us your plan. I think that at this point, we're talking about you bringing us a plan as to, all that includes that, then we'll deal with it at that time. We'll either accept or not accept your plan. So all that ought to be a part of your plan when you bring it in.
Yes, Mr. Nettles, and that's just called progress. We are desperately trying to. That's just called progress. We are desperately trying to clean up that area. And you had made a comment earlier about there's nobody that walks that street or we haven't had problems with vagrants. When the opposite is true, we've had plenty of vagrants and calls from people in that area, people living and squatting in some of those residences as well. So please, we ask that we want to help you, but we ask that you support us as well to clean up that area. We want to help that and make that as easy as possible as we can.
Other comments from the board? Anybody in the audience want to, Mr. Stewart, you had raised your hand a minute ago. Did you have some comment? You okay? Ms. Couch, is that
I think that's it.
it?
So we can close the public hearing.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. We had our regular meeting at 6 o'clock where those recommendations you mentioned will be read at our next.
Marcus.